Hello people of the internet, Pinsetter 1991 here, and today I'm doing some more 3D printing. I chose a bit of a weird project this time. I came across this model of Pikachu, but the face of it comes off and reveals a skeleton underneath. And there's something strange but cool about that. This was not the easiest thing to print. I ended up with a bunch of failed bone pieces. Once I was done sanding the pieces, I took them out to the garage, sprayed some primer on them, and once that dried, we were pretty much ready to paint this thing. This print is pretty realistic. I mean, there's a lot of detail in the model itself, all the hair and everything. So I used Detective Pikachu as like a realistic reference. And that's basically how I figured out where the highlights would look best. Now we're going in with the wash. The only trick to doing a wash is you water down the paint. It's got to be very thin. And you're going to wash it over, let it drain into the cracks and crevices. That didn't sound right. But it gets into the details of the print, and you end up with good values between darks and lights. Pikachu's got some brown stripes that I'm putting in, and it also gets brown at the base of the tail. Hopefully that's just a coincidence, come to think of it. And now we're moving on to the skeleton. So after I had printed this thing, I started thinking it would be pretty cool if it glowed in the dark. So I'm putting down a base coat of this neon yellow. It doesn't glow in the dark, but when you hit it with a UV light or a black light, it glows really well. Now we're doing a wash over the skeleton, and I was really happy with the end result of the skeleton. It ends up looking kind of aged and creepy, but I really like it. I like the way it turns out. Probably the most iconic feature of Pikachu is the red cheeks. I used a mixture of red and orange for these, and I just used the smallest brush I had and just started painting fine little lines between red and orange and a mixture of the two. I painted the eyes black, and I was considering using white paint to make a highlight, but then I decided to use another trick from North of the Border, that YouTube channel. He does a lot of UV resin over his character's eyes. It just adds like a level of realism to it, because now the highlights you see are the actual highlights from in your room. Just to make sure the resin was completely cured, we give them a little suntan here. And now for the inside. We needed a really dark background. I decided to use this. It's called Black 4.0, and it's one of the darkest values of black that you can get in a paint. Once the Black 4.0 dried, I was pretty happy with how it was looking, so the last thing to do was glue on the tail. And with that done, it's time for the glamour shots. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Let me know what you think I should print next or do next. I'm gonna do a few drawings, I think. So keep an eye out for those. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. I appreciate that a lot. And I'll catch you next time.